are answering the question, am I worthy of love and intimacy? What do you think? I say yes. I always will say yes. You are, I am, we are, right? Love and intimacy is not something we have to earn from someone. It is something that we desire. It is something that we are worthy of, but we have to allow ourselves to know that we're worthy of it. And sometimes that's a very quiet question inside that looms around, and sometimes I've heard from people that torments them. Am I worthy? You are worthy. You are worth every moment of someone loving you, of you offering yourself self-love, and having intimate experiences. I like to think about this topic in the realms of self-worth and knowing how much we're worth. We see the memes and the pictures and all those things all the time that have price tags around clothing that we buy, shoes that we buy, the different things that we love and that we buy and we spend money on. And we put price tags on all of those things. And sometimes we put a lower price tag on ourselves and our worth. And I don't think we do it on purpose. I think it is what we are sometimes conditioned to believe. I think it comes from some things that may have happened in our lifetime and our experiences that have made us feel like our worth has decreased. But it never has. You are so powerful beyond your own beliefs. But you have to believe that. And it takes work. And it takes time. No matter how many compliments a person gives you and I, if we don't believe it, we don't believe it. It may feel good, it may sound good in that moment, but we have to be the one to determine that we are worthy of that compliment, not because we're being conceited or boastful, because we just are. As I love to think about, we are all beautifully and wonderfully made. And there's nothing that can take away from that. We are all uniquely made as well. There's no one person that's the exact same. We may share the same last name, we may share the same bloodline, but we are different people. And so we have differences about ourselves that we may even look at as a flaw, for example. And sometimes we only focus on the flaw or something that happened that feels like a mess up. And we focus on that, and each time we keep internalizing that as a decrease in our worth and our value. And really, if we can flip that and change our mindset to think about those differences, that actually creates more value. It creates more of who you are that's so unique from another person and what you have to offer that you can't get a duplicate of that. You can't replicate that. And those are the things that we have to think about when we're thinking about our own worth. And then more so, am I worthy to be loved and to love? And again, the answer is yes. It is true, you are. But how do you get from a place of not feeling loved, not feeling worthy, to a place of feeling all of that and then some? You have to think about, where are those things that you're hearing in your head, where are they coming from? What is making you feel not worthy? What instances in your life have taken away from that? maybe people who have told you you weren't worthy, maybe they aren't worthy of you. Have you ever thought about that? That you are so magnificent that sometimes you scare other people off. Have you ever thought about that? Like sometimes we always think about what's wrong with me? What are my flaws? You know, did I say something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Or I got to get this, you know, I got to get my eyebrows done. I got to, you know, get my makeup on. Or, oh, I'm so not cute or attractive without makeup and all those different things. But if we think about it, those are all external things. Those are all things that we can buy, we can change, all of those things. But nobody can change the makeup of who you are. And that's where your worth and value come from. Your worth and value come from inside. And that you can't put anything on to make it better. But what you can add to that is the more you believe it, the more you're comfortable with it, and the more confidence you exude as a result of it. But you have to believe you're worthy first before someone else can deem you as worthy. And what do I mean by that? Sometimes we wait for other people to tell us how worthy we are. And honestly, that's not it. Nobody else can tell us how we're worthy or what type of worth we have or carry, or if we're worthy of love or their love. They can choose that they don't want to be in connectionship with us. They can choose that, and that's fine. But they can't tell you if you're worth it or worthy of love, right? And you may not be worth it to them, but you're definitely worth it to other people, family members, friends, people who just know who you are. There are certain things about us that are attractive to some and not attractive to others. And that's actually okay. That's something we have to get comfortable with, is that everyone won't be attracted to our greatness. And if they're not, that's okay. Sometimes our greatness and our inner self, our inner powerful self, it's a turnoff to some people, not because you are a turnoff. It's because sometimes we make other people have to look in their own self mirror and they don't measure up to that. So that's their stuff, not yours. So when we're thinking about if we're worthy of love and intimacy, think about what you're bringing to the table. Think about that and find your worth in it, and don't wait for someone else to find that worth for you. You are already a pot of gold. The only thing that someone else should add to that is either double that gold or stack that gold higher and allow that to cultivate a meaningful, healthy, worthy relationship of you both. And so I say that because there's so many, especially women, who come and talk with me about not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy of love. And some of those things are lies we tell ourselves. And sometimes it depends on what type state of mind we're in, what type of mood we're in, what we just finished dealing with. And so all of that sometimes stacks up against us in a moment that doesn't feel good. What happens when we go through a bad moment or something bad happens? We bring all the other bad stuff that has happened. And that creates a not so good feeling. And it becomes mountainous. It becomes so big that we instead would rather hide underneath it instead of deal with it and tackle it. And those are the types of things that begin to start to take away from us. Again, it takes away what we feel worthy of in that moment. And then we have other moments where we just feel like we're on top of the world. Nobody can tell me anything. I know that I'm worth it and worthy. But if we can take those two instances and find our balance somewhere in between, we are going to have ebbs and flow. That's life. That's growing pains. But again, if we can find our middle ground, our sweet spot, then again, we can use that to remind ourselves when we are in those down places of truly how worthy we are and how worth it we are. And someone else, they should be super happy if you decide that your worth is worth being with them. So you keep that in mind as you are doubting yourself sometimes, doubting what you have to offer. If you saw what other people saw, you would never doubt your worth again. You are a diamond. You are the sunshine. You are any other word. You are a brilliant piece of art. And I'm not just saying that. I believe that in all of my heart because I see people talk about themselves when in terms of their flaws. And all I see while they're sitting in front of me is, man, if they could see what I saw or what I see in front of me, this person is like captivating. Like I can't stop wanting to know more about them. And I take that information and I try to give it back to them so they can understand that what others are making them feel like is a negative, it's a positive. And again, sometimes that's scary as well. And if people can't handle all of that coming off of you, all of that reflection, all of that light, that's their issue, not yours. And maybe they aren't worthy. And so I want you to keep that in mind. Stop bringing up the flaws and start really seeing who you are. You're more than the small things that are standing in your way. You're way more than that.